Hello, Facebook friends. Sarah the dietitian here today with my friend Courtney. We're going to be doing some holiday baking today, making a classic gingerbread cookie recipe using our KitchenAid mixer. So I'm going to have Courtney start out mixing up our dry ingredients. We have got 3 cups of flour that you're going to use for this recipe. Yep. And we're just going to mix these up with a fork. Of course, I hope everyone has washed their hands before they start their cooking preparations. To the 3 cups of flour, we are going to add ginger, our star ingredient, so you can't have gingerbread cookies without ginger. We have 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. We also have 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a half teaspoon of ground cloves, another half teaspoon of nutmeg, a half teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And we will post the recipe so you can have all those measurements. Courtney's just going to whisk these together with a fork really quickly. It does smell good. And spices and seasonings are one of my favorite ways to enjoy holiday treats. You know, you can have a basic sugar cookie, which is certainly delicious, but when you have a gingerbread cookie, it's got so much more flavor and aroma to it. And despite the butter and sugar and white flour that goes into some of these recipes, the seasonings can actually prove some different health benefits too. So it's good to use herbs and spices in your cooking whenever possible. You could mix this with your KitchenAid mixer, however, it might get a little bit messy. So that's why we're doing it by hand right now. Awesome, that looks great, Courtney. And we're gonna also cream together our butter and brown sugar, which I should have done while Courtney was doing that thing. So we've got a half cup or 1 stick of softened butter. That's going to go into our mixer. I am using kind of this paddle attachment today. You could use the whisk attachment to your KitchenAid mixer, kind of whatever you feel is appropriate. The dough hook probably wouldn't work as well, especially for this step of the recipe. So I've got half cup of brown sugar, also brown sugar, butter. We're going to cream these together right now. Can you grab me that rubber spatula, please, Courtney?
There you go.
Thank you. We're just going to kind of beat this down a little bit before we rock and roll here. All right. The wonderful thing about KitchenAid mixers is they make them so well that the essential design has not changed in probably 20 years. This KitchenAid mixer was actually my grandmother's, and it's got all pretty much the same bells and whistles as this one over here that you see. Turn on your power strip and start on low speed. And we're just going to cream the butter and sugar together.
So your mixer's gotten a lot of use out of it then.
Yes, this has been passed down to me after my grandmother passed away. So pretty much the only 2 functions you have to worry about on a KitchenAid mixer is this lock feature over here that you've seen me do, and then on the opposite side you have different speeds that you can use. To our wet ingredients, we're going to add about 3/4 cups of molasses, and this should be unsulfured molasses. I'm going to use my rubber spatula here to get that out. Oh. Courtney's got my one large egg here that we're going to add into this mix too. Just like so, and let that all incorporate together. All right. And then if Courtney, can you hand me that our dry ingredients here? Thank you. We're just going to gradually add this in, little bits at a time. And if you're back here, I wish we had smell-o-vision because it's starting to smell pretty good back here. I'm going to use our spatula here. So this is a great recipe to make maybe Christmas Eve with your family. Once we have this dough all incorporated with the wet and dry ingredients, we're going to actually wrap it in plastic wrap, kind of like this, and want to keep it in the fridge for about 4 hours at least, or ideally overnight. And that'll just make it easier when we roll out and cut the cookies. So Courtney, do you have any fun family traditions that you enjoy this time of year?
I like going to get the tree. That's probably my favorite part.
Real or artificial?
We've been doing real for about the past 3 years now.
Awesome, so have I. It's easier to keep the cat out.
Oh, yes, for sure. What are your other favorite Christmas traditions?
I used to go Christmas caroling a lot with my
Really?
family growing up, and my mom would bake tea rings, an English-style tea ring with walnuts and brown sugar and just a delicious, very pretty, that she would make each year, and we'd deliver them to family and friends and go singing together.
Well, how nice.
Yeah. So if you can see from our upper angle there, this dough is starting to come together nicely. We're going to finish incorporating the rest of our flour mixture here. All right.
So about how many cookies does this recipe make?
That's a great question. Depending on the size of your cookies, it may make anywhere from about 32 to 36 cookies. And there'll be about 35 to 40 calories per each cookie. Can you put that over there for me? Okay. All right, this looks great. We're going to turn the speed down a little bit. I'm going to unlock the KitchenAid here and lift up. All right. Take off our attachment here. Can you hand me that spatula, please, Courtney?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So we'll clear this off a little bit. I have another family tradition is licking off the beaters after you use your mixer. However, if you use raw eggs in the mixture like we have today, it's probably not advised. I'll pass this off to Courtney so she can go refrigerate that, and we'll wrap it in the plastic wrap like here. So we'll see you in a little bit, Courtney. Yeah, take care. All right. Okay, so we're going to unwrap this dough I refrigerated last night, so it's ready to roll out and cut cookies from. So we want to have a lightly floured surface to make our cookies on, as well as a rolling pin, of course. And the dough is pretty sticky, so you do want to make sure that your surface is well floured. Oh, it seems we have a guest. Come in.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. We are making some cookies. Would you like to help out a little bit?
Could I?
Absolutely,
love to make cookies.
absolutely. Love to have family and friends to help out with
What kind are you
baking.
making?
Just gingerbread cookies. You know, you can't mess up a traditional recipe, right?
For Christmas.
Of course.
Gotta have that.
Yeah.
What would you like me to do?
Well, we're gonna get our dough rolled out here, so we're gonna flour it just a little bit more so that it all sticks together.
Do you mind if I roll it?
Oh, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
I love to do this with the grandkids.
Oh, I bet they love that.
My grandma did this with me.
Mhm.
My mom. How thin would you like them, Sarah?
We want to be about a 1/4 inch thick. Any thinner than that, and they might get a little bit overdone. So we're looking for a softer cookie today.
Okay.
All
This
right.
is nice dough.
Yeah, it's and we refrigerate it, so it's a little bit easier to work with.
Nice color, nice smell. The molasses smells so good.
All those spices and seasonings. And then we've got a lightly greased cookie sheet that we'll put these onto. I'm going to grab this gingerbread man from over here and cut out a couple of these. All right.
Those look delicious.
Do we want to re-roll this, or do we want to take this pan out?
Would you like me to take it and
Yep.
bake these?
Yep, let's go do
Okay.
this pan, and then I'll start on the next set.
And
So,
what temperature do these
We're
need?
going to bake these at 350 degrees for about 8 minutes. So make sure your oven's preheated already, and you should be ready to rock and roll.
Can't wait.
All right. Okay. Oh, it seems we have another guest. Come on in.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Good. Are the cookies ready?
I actually have one ready for you right there. I've even got a full plate of them right here that just came out of the oven.
All right.
Would you like to have one?
Yes, please.
Oh, go right ahead.
I'm going to take one.
Okay.
And remember, everyone, there's still time to get your flu shot.
Yes. So if you're planning to do that, get in here and see us. So we'd love to have your smiling faces to get that taken care of.
Thanks for the cookie.
Oh, absolutely.
Bye.
Take care, Melissa. All right, let's cut out some more cookies. So one of the things I like to remember about this time of year, like I mentioned, it's so important to focus on the time spent with family and friends. It's also a time to enjoy great food, but we obviously still want to remember things like portion control and all those other good things. I think it's great to enjoy our classic traditional foods without having to change them up too much. There's no healthy spin on this recipe today. Yes, come in. Hey, Bobby. So we are, these are just some wonderful traditional gingerbread cookies that we have going on today, just as a nice little treat. So.
Oh, wow. Tell me about this mixer.
This is a KitchenAid mixer. You can actually enter to win this KitchenAid mixer.
Really?
Do you have a KitchenAid mixer, Bobby?
How can I win this?
That's a wonderful question. You can go to the TCHD, Tuscola County Health Department, Facebook page to enter to win this kitchen mixer, and you have until December 18th to enter when we will draw our winner.
You could win. And you could also make an appointment at Tuscola County Health Department. Get your flu shots. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Bobby. We'll see you again soon. Let's mix this dough back together here. Come on in. Hi, everyone. It's great to have you all back.
Hi.
So, all of us here from TCHD just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a blessed holiday season with you and your family.
Merry
Merry Christmas.